The Incumbent Worker Training Program helps employers upskill their workforce, so that could either be by if they're facing a layoff or if they just have a group of individuals that need to be upskilled. And so it's a partnership with the employer where the American Job Center pays at least 50% of the training costs and then the employer contributes the rest.
Currently, we are working in partnership with Lincoln Literacy, who writes the curriculum and teaches the classes for English language learning in the organizations that we are currently working with.
She was first started by Kawasaki. They reached out to Lincoln Literacy and said, hey, we have a group of new Americans, they're hardworking, they're on time, they're doing great, but we're really struggling to figure out how to move them up to the next level job. So we designed a curriculum with Kawasaki's training team led by Kevin Matran and Jim Townsend to develop a curriculum. And now, fast forward 2 years later, we actually have two classes. We have what's called a foundations class, which is for people with very little English to learn the basics. Basics of English, actually, conversation, and then safety.
And then the intermediate to advanced level is all built around Kawasaki and manufacturing terminology. You know, we want them to be able to understand the words, the names of the tools, the acronyms that we use here. And I think that helps build their confidence.
So we want employees to have a really well-rounded idea of the place they work. We're trying to expand the employee's knowledge of I do this one thing to I am part of this bigger picture and this is where I belong. And that might look different every place that we go into and start preparing the curriculum.
In the situation of ELL learning, Lincoln Literacy is providing the English language learning on site. So what that means is that the employees get to attend classes while they are working. So they're getting paid to learn English and the employer's getting an upskilled workforce. And so it's really a win-win-win for everybody.
I'm from Ukraine. I moved to USA maybe 10 months ago. And after 2 months, I started to work at Kawasaki. Before English classes, work at Kawasaki for me is more hard because I do not understand many people, what people say for me.
Teachers who teach in these classes, it's very great and they very understand. As for example, me, when I speak with them, because I don't speak English very good, and this class is very help.
So you have this kind of environment built where people are learning from each other, they're trusting from each other, they're not afraid to be wrong. And that's really those moments that I watch the learning happen and I watch the connection between an idea and a person speaking to this piece of safety or whatever it is when that connection happens between the teacher, the students, and the material.
Before English classes, I afraid to speak English, had a barrier to speak, and that classes very helped me with this.
So these classes between employers, Lincoln Literacy, and helping new Americans grow in their careers isn't possible without the American Job Center.
I think it's just a beautiful thing to be able to see these things come to fruition with the Incumbent Worker Training.
It was immigrants that built this country, and they are still playing an important role in who we are.
Team coming together between American Job Center, the employer, and Lincoln Literacy is really building a bridge for our newest Americans to not just have a job, but move into a career.
This is very helpful English classes in job and life.
I think that's the most important thing, seeing those individual changes and opportunities that are now open to people. It's wonderful, yeah.
At this juncture, we're working mostly with English language learners, but we do have the opportunity to expand outside of that.
It's really flexible to meet the needs of what an employer actually needs. We help companies that work in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, information technology, just to name a few. Everybody really wins in those situations, and there's buy-in. The employees have buy-in, the employer has buy-in, and of course the American Job Center is here to help.